The fraud Trump, the fraud Trump, well, he is a fraud, the fraud trial that the orange bastard is going to have to deal with possibly as soon as Monday coming over the accusations, the proof, the truth, that he deliberately, consciously, in a defrauding manner inflated the value of his properties by billions of dollars. His attempt to get it delayed was rejected by a New York appeals court. Once again, it's the bastard's usual MO. When he's charged with something, deny it, accuse the prosecutors, the judge, the witnesses, the news media who report on it, yada, 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 and then try to delay it, go to court. Well, it didn't work with the judge. It didn't work with the appeals court. In a 2-page order yesterday, his attempt was turned aside because of this lawsuit that Trump filed against the trial judge, Arthur Engoron. He sues the judge. Only Trump would do this. The lawsuit that the orange bastard brought had tried to delay the trial and ultimately throw out many of the accusations against the orange bastard. But anyway, yesterday's ruling came 2 days after Justice Engoron issued an order that was a major blow to the orange bastard. The order found Trump liable for having committed fraud by persistently bullshitting and lying about his assets. And the judge also is ordering Trump to lose control over his New York properties and to not do business in the state of New York anymore. It's coming to that. That hasn't been issued yet. Anyway, the judge or the justice in this case sided with the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. It was Ms. James who last year sued Trump, accusing him of exactly what he's guilty of, inflating his net worth to get good loan terms from banks and good coverage from insurance companies and all this other crapola that Trump is so adept at doing. He's a world-class grifter. I'll give him that. There's nobody like him that I know about who is more of a liar, a cheat, a grifter, a thug, a bum, a son of a bitch. He makes mafia family heads, the dons, he makes them look like amateurs, like pikers, this guy. Anyway, now, the orange bastard is not entirely out of ways to try to delay shit right now. He can still appeal Justice Engoron's Tuesday order, but it's unclear whether the appeals court would even consider that after what was released yesterday. What was decided yesterday. I don't understand how you can be turned down on appeal and yet file another appeal, but I'm sure it's legal. Trump wouldn't do anything illegal, would he? Anyway, the trial would, as I mentioned the other day, would be decided by Justice Engoron, not a jury. And it would determine other aspects of the case. And one of the more important ones, especially to the orange bastard and his bastard sons, will, first of all, be a financial penalty and other punishments, including the loss of licensing to do business in the state of New York. Letitia James, the prosecutor, is seeking $250 million in damages and ill-gotten gains. And in the lawsuit that Trump's lawyers filed, they argued that Justice Engoron had ignored an earlier appeals court decision in June that raised the notion that some of the accusations against the orange bastard might be too old to go to trial. That's another one of the son of a bitch's tactics, stall, delay, until either the statute of limitations runs out or key witnesses die or move to Slobovia someplace, or it's just too late, Judge, to try this. I mean, my God, it was 18 years ago. That sort of thing, right? But the appeals court yesterday did not get convinced by these bullshit arguments and did not engage with them. in its order, other than to say they had been considered. All these bullshit reasons that Trump's fake attorneys had tried to get the appeals court to consider. The court did not consider them, other than to say they had been considered. I mean, the court didn't engage with those specific bullshit issues that Trump's fake attorneys brought up. Now, a lawyer for the Orange Bastard, this Christopher Keyes freak, was asked for a response as to what the court decided yesterday. He didn't answer, but on Tuesday, he called Justice Engoron's ruling, the original ruling, outrageous and completely disconnected from the facts and governing law. And then this creep bastard who works for Trump said that Judge Engoron had ignored, quote, basic legal accounting and business principles. Well, no, Mr. Keyes, basic legal accounting and business principles do not include lies, bullshit, deception, falsehoods, dishonor. I mean, in Trump's world, it does. But Mr. Keyes, you know, even though you represent this son of a bitch, once you step into a courtroom, my friend, well, you're not my friend, but once you enter a courtroom, the rules of the real world apply. I guess you found that out. Anyway, Trump, of course, as is his usual MO, he denies all wrongdoing. And he has accused the judge and the attorney general of being politically motivated. He's called the justice deranged. He called Miss James, who is black, a racist. Oh, that'll work. That'll work for you, son of a bitch. And at the heart of Letitia James' case is the accusation that Trump's annual financial statements exaggerated his net worth by as much as $2.5 billion in some years. And in her case against Trump, Ms. James has said that he submitted the statements to banks for the obvious reason, to get favorable loans. Now, I mentioned yesterday, you know, Trump's one defense is, well, nobody lost any money. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's like saying three guys go into a bank, rob the bank, scare the shit out of everybody because they've got guns pointing at everybody, and then leave the bank. And a week later, they say, you know, maybe we shouldn't have robbed the bank. So they go back to the bank and put the money on the counter and walk out. Right. Anyway, that is part of Trump's chicken shit defense right there. Anyway, lawyers from the Attorney General's office have said that under the powerful state law allowing them to bring the case, they didn't need to show the fraud had resulted in any financial harm. It didn't matter if somebody made money, lost money, or broke even, which has always been Trump's argument in cases like this. And Justice Engoron agreed in his Tuesday opinion, and that's when I mentioned this the other day, he fined Trump's lawyers $7,500 each for continuing to put forth these arguments that they had made and he had rejected before. Anyway, the order that was issued by the appeals court yesterday left let's put it this way, leaves the future of Trump's business life in New York kind of hanging in the balance. Now, what he could do, of course, is move all of his illicit criminal enterprises and operations to Florida, where he lives, and where the Christian fascist governor of that state, DeSantis, would love to have Trump right up the road in Palm Beach, or down the road, I should say. That's right. I keep thinking the capital of Florida is in Miami, which, of course, is where it should be, but it's in Tallahassee. And I think DeSantis would love that. So maybe Trump can do that, right? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.